Hello, all my relic hunting friends. This episode, we're gonna dig some awesome relics down here in an old home site right out of Baton Rouge, and we're gonna see what we can find. I'm also gonna do some trash or treasure on this episode. Just some of the stuff that I picked up over the years that might help some of the guys that are just starting. So all you experts, I know that you already know all this stuff that I'll probably go through later, but it should be a fun episode. So we'll see. Adventures of hunting and detecting in southern Louisiana. LaRelicHunters and Gulf South Detectors. All right, guys, before we even get started, I want to show y'all something really cool. This is a old Louisiana card. We came in tobacco product, and it's from like 1888, I believe. But I love collecting sports cards, and this is one that has evaded me for a long time, and finally got one. So very hard to find these in any gradable condition, just because they really weren't collected like sports cards. So but I had PSA authenticate this one, and I really think it's amazing. I'm gonna show you guys another one. I'm gonna set this one back here in this case. Let's see. All right, there we go. Now we got another one here. Check this one out. This is a Louisiana flag. This is flags of the states from the 1880s. Again, another one of these rare to get ones, you know. And this came out of a pack of cigarettes. So they had every state you could get. And this one actually came out very good to excellent, which I was very happy with. And it's got the state of Louisiana, the Pelican, and of course the Allen and Ginger cigarette logo on it, Louisiana. Anyway, let's get to some fun, some digging. You can drop it, huh?
Up.
What you got? You joking?
Look at that!
You joking? Oh, whoa!
Look at that!
Oh, he did get one.
That's
Oh,
a basketball.
dude, it looks drop. Oh my God! Travis got a bullet. Jeez.
Wow! So can you identify it?
Oh, it's a round ball for sure. It'd be Confederate.
It's a lead marble.
Check this
I
out.
will hurt you if it's a marble.
No, it ain't no marble, man. Check that out.
Yeah.
Travis found a bullet.
That
It looks like a 58.
Tell him it's a lead marble.
It's a lead marble. I think he's jealous.
No, he knows how much I hate marbles.
Man, that's a bullet for sure.
There might be another one there.
Could be a couple of them, who knows? Oh my goodness. It had decent number. I told him, I heard it, I said, man, that sounds good. Dang, brother. If that thing could talk. What else you got in there?
I don't know around the hole there.
That was like a couple inches, huh? Oh, I see it. I can tell you what it is if you want me to. Brass, no, it's a brass rivet end.
Okay.
It's round and they sound just like dimes. Here, I'm gonna put it in your hand. I find them suckers and boy, they make me mad. That's what it is. And a lot of people call it a washer, but what it is, it's a part of a rivet that wasn't punched. But here, I got you with your round ball. I'm holding it with you in the background. This is so awesome, man. took today to go through a few things, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. It's just kind of an overview of some things that you find, typical things you find in a cane field that's had an old home site. And I'm gonna go through some of this stuff, and we'll try to go through it real quickly, and maybe it'll help y'all with IDing some stuff later on. So, I guess I'm gonna start right here. This is a doll. This little doll is pretty old. It's held on by a string. The legs and all attached by string. Now, this doll is what children played with back, you know, in the 1800s, 1850s, 40s, on into the 1900s. And here's some examples of the stuff that you're not going to find this in a cane field, but you will find the pieces and parts. And a lot of people look at them and go, wow, those are dolls on them. So I just have this doll to kind of show y'all an example of how this thing would be strung together with the doll. Find these, there's a big leg here. That was a big doll. You find broken ones. I just grabbed a few that were laying right handy to me in my finds that I've found here lately in the last month or so. So here's an old doll on. I haven't even cleaned it. Now, that covers these, and then you also have the heads. The heads that were attached that you'll find. There's a little bit of fancy one there. You can see a little lipstick on it. Isn't that cool? It's broke, but it's different. It's a head. It's pretty cool. Then you're also going to find this type of doll, and this is a what they call a frozen Charlotte. And it's just a little doll made out of porcelain. And we'll clean that one. Here's a really nice one here. Got the little dress on. Got the porcelain bottom. Looks like this one was a hollow pour. But anyway, that's very old. Here's one that's really old. That's unfortunately broke, but that's what happens when you're in a cane field. So that kind of covers the doll and the aspect of how the legs went with the doll. And I hope that helps you guys. And I think we're gonna find more in here.
It's a half dime or a dime?
I don't know yet. I can tell it's silver. I think it's a half dime. Okay, a dime. I'll clean it up and let you know here in just a second. I'm thinking 1860. That's what I'm thinking. We'll, when I get home, I'll be able to clean it a little bit better to try to get. Sometimes you hold it at a certain angle. Sometimes that date will pop out on these ones that are kind of rough on the surface. It's like this black stuff gets on them, and some of them come up beautiful, and some of them come up like this. You know, some of them come up just like ready to spin. But yeah, hey, I'll take it. Another half dime out the half dime bill. It looks like a 9 on the end now that I'm looking at it. Let me try this one more time. That look like the probably 1858 or 59. I don't see arrows. Wait a minute, that's a 0. Probably a 1860. I had to guess. All right, guys. We're gonna see if we can't find some more. Get pops on one. There we go. 1 dime. Is that a O, man? Hold on. I said O. That might be an S. No, that's that's an O. Oh, and I hope that helps you guys. Next, I'm gonna look at these locks. A lot of people find pieces of locks, and they don't know what they are. So here's an example of one. You find something like this, and you'll see a little iron on the back right here. That's the dust cover for the lock. So here's a better example of a front of a heart-shaped lock that still has the dust cover. And I've cleaned it the best I can, but that thing is not gonna move back down. So it'll display good like that. Now, here is a big lock cover I found just the other day. See a piece of iron on it where it went on a lock? It would have went on a lock like this. Here's one that I restored. It was enough left where I could actually do some electrolysis and try to preserve it. It won't last forever, but it'll last a lot longer. But that's one that's open, frozen in time that I dug. Here's one that is in too bad a shape for me to do electrolysis. It's literally falling apart. I don't even want to clean the dirt off of it. It's got the fancy star with the crescent under it. It's really cool. You dig these old locks, and this one's old. This is 1800s all day long. But that's pretty cool. It's literally gonna crumble eventually. But anyway, that kind of gives you an idea of what these are when you dig them. A lot of people do dig these. I know I do. I dig at least 2 or 3 every time I go to a good cane field. All right, down here with Daddy. And Daddy's done scored a half dime, an old one. It's gonna clean up really nice, Daddy. You can see the Liberty and the shield and everything. 1839, half dime, out the half dime field. Go Daddy. There you go, Dad. I'm gonna go straight into the hooks. Now, I just grabbed a few I could find laying on a shelf over there. There's a bunch of different hooks. And every time somebody digs one of these, you know what they say? Oh, I found a sword hook. Well, here's a sword blade, and here's what they call the sword hook. Now, this is what I can tell you guys. And y'all can take this with a grain of salt or whatever, but after doing some extensive research, and also a buddy of mine that does a Trash or Treasure has pretty much explained it as being a multi-purpose hook. So yeah, it had the clip on it. It definitely hooked to something, but not necessarily on a sword. Now, in saying that, Memphis Novelty Works makes one, and here's a piece of one that has a snake pattern. You see, that's where the clip would have went on the bottom. That's a broken one. Here's another piece of one here, and you can see the design on it, and it would have had like a snake pattern on it. Okay. Now here's a design. This one don't have anything on it, no pattern, no snake design. So it's probably a multi-purpose hook. Here's another one. No snake design. I can't say this is one of the Memphis Novelty Works, so it's a multi-purpose hook. So, and you may dig a whole one, and you can call it a sword hook, because actually it could have been used for a sword hook, but you can't say 100% it was used as a sword hook, and that's what I'm getting to here. So here's one. Now this one does have a pattern on it, and it's a swivel. You can see if you look real close, it's got a pattern on it. It looks kind of snaky to me, but so I would say, well, wow, why would they put a snake design on a multi-purpose hook unless it was for something fancy like a sword? So, I can't answer that. But what I can tell you is they were multi-purpose hooks. Now here's 2 very interesting ones. Now, I dug both of these. I dug this one, oh God, over 10 years ago. And this one here, I dug just the other day. So that's my second one of this style. I've only seen one other one anywhere on the internet or anything. And you can see 2 snake eyes on both of them. They're both the same. You can see the pattern of the snake scales. This one here is darker, but trust me when I tell you, they are exactly the same. And then you can see the little eyes. See that eye there on both of them. And they both had a tank. Now, I put this one on this hook with this one. So I'm just keeping them together. But anyway, I'm calling it a Confederate sword hook. You know, I mean, it has to be. It's got a snake. It's, you know, it's very similar to the Memphis Novelty Works one. But guess what? If I can't prove it, then I can't, you know, 100% say it was a sword hook. But I'll tell you one thing, it sure looks like one. And some guys have sent me pictures of some pre-Civil War sword hooks that look very, very similar to this. So on the menu is half dime special taco. I hate it when they get hit like this, but you know, I guess digging a silver's digging a silver, you know. Ain't none of them really worth anything once they've been in the ground. A lot of guys think, you know, they can get them graded or whatever, but they always come back damaged, dug. So anyway, I'm gonna clean this baby up and try to see if I can get a date off of it. Definitely a little half dime. It's small, but yeah, that's what it's all about right there, man. Finding them little silvers in these Louisiana cane fields. So I'll clean her up and we'll see what she looks like. I'm scared if I bend it back out, it will break. So this one will be a taco probably forever. Just got a little bit too much bend in it for me to try to straighten. So is what it is. The fields give you what they give you, and you know, you just got to take it. But it's definitely silver, and it's been square hit with the plow. Boy, that's a shame. All right, we'll clean her up. I'll show y'all what a taco looks shinier. All right, let's look at something different. Here we go. How many of you guys have dug that piece right here? I know you're gonna look at this and say, oh God, I've dug them, lots of them. Well, here's what it does. It was a candle holder. Candle went right there in the middle. This is one I dug and preserved, came out of Port Hudson. That's an old candle plate, and that's the ring. You dig a lot of these in the cane field, and this is usually torn to pieces and gone, and you just end up with a ring, and it's very interesting. Some people mis-ID that as some kind of trigger guard or something, I don't know. But anyway, here's some interesting buttons. First I'm gonna show you guys some regular buttons. Okay. All right. Pick up a lot of these in cane fields. Everybody picks them up. You got the plain white button. Just find hundreds of them as you're digging. Then here's what I call the pie crust. It's a long time ago, an old timer told me these were a little bit more popular than the pie crust. So that's what I know about that. Now, if you're really lucky, you'll dig, here's one, a pearl button. And this was made from a pearl. You can see that iridescence. Now I got some examples going up here. And look how big and pretty that one is. Now, this was found in a cane field, and believe me, I don't know how this thing didn't get broke. Look how pretty that is. That would have went on a fancy, fancy jacket there. Big old pearl. I mean, that thing's big as a silver dollar. That's a good one. This one's about the size of almost like a $half dollar. Now, that's rare to find one, a pearl one, made from an oyster shell that big. And that's right, these are made from oyster shells. So anyway, what I'm gonna talk about, and some of you guys already know, but for the new guys, when you're out dating a field, of course you want to look for substance like that, imported New Orleans. That was probably a pretty dang cool plate. Check out the old Pilgrim. You got the guy on the horse, that's cool. But we're gonna talk about featherware today. Dating featherware, when you're looking for a field, you want to look for the featherware that has the ruffle in it. So I can feel it. Got like a little ruffle in it. So that's it. That's old. That's old. You see it? You can see it right there? You can see it. When you find featherware, dropping it all over. When you find featherware, there's a different style. Look how pretty. See the ruffle in it? That's old. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys something that's more modern. First thing you can tell the difference, it's a lot whiter. It's more of a crisp white. You see the pores in there. But here's the tall tale. Remember how I looked down the edge of that blue and white with the ruffles? Look down this one. See how it's smooth? So if you find in blue and white, it doesn't necessarily mean you're in a Civil War spot. This plate's probably post-Civil War, around 1920s, 30s. You know, they start doing a lot of reproduction of the blue and white china, the plates, cups, etc. But you can see, if you look at it really close, you can tell. See how the little lines come down? They don't really come down way down like the old stuff. The old stuff, man, boy, I tell you, it's pretty. Civil War period. It's just amazing how many buttons come out of this little field. See the arrows right there. And the little reef thing right there. That's cool. That one will clean up nice. Just talking about these harmonica reeds, this is also something you find a lot of in a cane field, and it's also a reed out of a musical instrument. So if you ever dig something like that, that's what it came out of, like a squeeze box or something there. They have some really big ones too, and you'll see them when you find them. This right here, find a lot of these in cane fields. That came out of a mechanical music box. That's all that is. Find a lot of pretty cool looking stuff. Like this, just furniture, little furniture knob. That's all it is. Cool to find. Looky here. Clay pipes. Everybody likes to find a clay pipe. Let's put this. This is some wagon. That came off a wagon. But look at here. Man, if you could just find one that wasn't broke up in a cane field. And that's really cool. That is really, really cool. Had this guy's face on it. Came up broke, guys. And here's a cool one. This one has a heart design on it. And it also has some initials here. Let's see if we can read it. Something W. And the guy's initials. And you see where it's broke right here? Look at this. This is just picking up out of cane fields. These are all pipe stems. So in other words, this piece would have went something like that, and that would have been their pipe. Probably would have been a little bit bigger one. A bigger one. Here's a bigger piece. Something like that. And it would have went on. And it had a pipe. Good luck trying to find one not broke in a cane field there. But yeah, find tons of them. This little piece was interesting, and some of my friends looked it up and told me it came off a wooden level tool for drawing a straight edge and stuff. That's kind of cool. Look neat. Here's a very cool hat pin I dug from Dartmouth. That's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna put this in a case. It deserves to be put in a case, I think. Definitely. This is an odd one here. It's a silver coin, and it's seated. Let me see if I can get this thing zoom in. What's weird about this one is this rust on it will not come off easily. Oh, it's 1850 something with arrows. Now that is cool. But anyway, it's got this rust. It is stuck on there. I cannot get it off. Almost like I have to do electrolysis to get it off. I think what I might do is just soak it in some kind of solution and see if I can clean it and get it just kind of break off of there, hopefully. If not, I guess I could display it kind of like that. Since I don't sell coins, it's no real big deal anyway. But it's interesting. I've never found one that had that much rust on it. They probably have a hole through it's what I'm thinking. And they stuck some type of ring through it or something, and then it got lost, and of course the iron that went through the little hole in the coin got all swollen up, rust, and that's what you end up with. A seated coin that's in a chunk of rust. That's pretty interesting. I saw that reeded edge and I was like, oh yeah, well, it's got to be a coin. That's pretty neat. I'll take it. Found that just the other day. See a lot of these on ID Me. First thing everybody says, oh, that's a Nazi emblem, that's a swastika, it's something German. Yeah, Germany did use this, but the Indians, Native Americans also used it way before Germany took on this, which they do not use it anymore. Nobody really does, but even the Native Americans stopped using it. And they called it the swirling logs. So it was like a good luck symbol. Swirling, rolling logs. And that's just an old native tourist piece with some kind of little buckle, piece of jewelry, whatever, that they sold way back in the day, probably off, Santa Fe Railroad, back during Fred Harvey era of hotels. That's a big old dandy button. The expression dandy, they had huge buttons. Here's something interesting. I'm trying to drag this out, but a lot of people find these. And I looked for one for a few minutes, but they have one that's got an eagle on it. And man, when you dig it, you're thinking, oh man, this gotta be something. Civil War's got an eagle on it. And what it is it's not anything Civil War. Could have been from around Civil War, but went into a saw, hand saw. That's the medallion that's on the hand saws you see today. Here's another piece of old glass and kid little statuette thing. Anyway, harmonica reeds, find a lot of these in the cane fields. That was their entertainment. There's a little big baby heart lock. That's a little T90 one. Stick it over here, Bob. All right, caught my breath a little bit. Caught my breath a little bit, and check it out, the plate. Looks, my hunting buddy today is he's cool. But she's an eagle, and the reef's intact on this side, but this side here I started to brush on a little bit, and part of the reef looks like it's come loose, so I got to be very careful with this. And I'm gonna bring it up to the truck right now, and just let it sit in the truck till I get home. Keg Taps. Sometimes they'll have a date on them. They have some writing on them. I don't know if that one does or not. Old rimfire shells. They're old. Now, look at here. I know everybody digs these. I mean, I must have dug 1,000 of them in my lifetime. Some of them are older than others, but they're Keg Taps. You can see where they hammered them into the keg, and then this would be your on and off little knob. There's a different one. And you see how it's got the lines on it running horizontal? That's the older ones. They would pound them in there and it would just lock it in place. And I want to say later on they started putting these threads on them, and they would thread them in because these style were leaking, the older ones. So that's a pretty old one there. And that one there had some fancy thing on it, but they all had a thing where they hammered them into the kegs. Old pulley. That's pretty neat. Brass. They made stuff back then to last. I promise you that. Here's a fancy knob. Broke. Probably went on some type of keg tap. And then you got, look at here. Found this in a field the other day now. This is interesting. This is an old safe dial. Wow. Maybe it was a bank robbery and they blew the safe up, and that's a piece of it. Here's something everybody asks about all the time. And it's made of lead. Find a lot of them. Two purposes. Back in the day, the women would wear them in their dresses in the bottom, the big dresses. They would wear fancy dresses. And it was like a weight, keep the skirt from coming up, the dress flying up. And they also were window weights, window curtain weights. So they put them in the bottom of curtains, keep the curtains and windows open from blowing so hard. So curtain weights, or could have went in a dress. Some of them, maybe these were curtain, they're kind of big. The famous parasol piece, an umbrella. They do have one, I don't have one out here, but it's kind of similar to this. There was a hat dent on the top hats, but that's from a parasol. A lot of V-nickels and shield nickels. Find a lot of these little religious metals. Some of them are silver and some of them are brass. And then, I don't forget about my silverware. Now I'll start here. Here's one you find in a field. That's a piece of one. Look how fancy that thing was. Boy, it was fancy. Now, it wasn't silver, but it was still fancy. People back then, everybody didn't have a bunch of money to have silverware. And if they did, they only brought it out on special occasions, and they didn't have much, unless they were, wealthy plantation owners. Here's one with the handles gone, restored, 3-prong. Here's one, I can't remember where, I think it's a barn find. This is an old knife here. Back when they made them good. Here's some interesting ones. Now this is fancy. This one has the guy's face and his shoes down at the bottom. And then this one here is bone. Actual made of bone. These were not dug. These I purchased to put in my collection of my Civil War era eating utensils. That's pretty cool. Here's another huge lock cover. Would have went on big lock. Then my shells, man, they came out pretty good. I got a video on them that of the process of doing them. They really came out great. But anyway, guys, it's been fun. I gotta put all this stuff up somewhere. Anyway, I hope everybody keeps finding some good stuff, and I hope maybe this helps somebody out, or maybe they can help me out if I mis-ID'd something.